Hello all. So in this video, we will try to continue with the prioritization with respect to subjects and topics as we are doing for General Studies Paper 2. So we have already completed the same exercise for General Studies Paper 1. So do check out that video in the playlist. So let us proceed. So as we know, in General Studies Paper 2, there are broadly four divisions, four subjects. We can call it polity, governance, social justice, and international relations. And among these, there is the polity, which occupies almost half of the paper. As we can see, 8 to 10 questions, that is almost half of the paper out of 20 questions, comes from the polity section. The rest being equally distributed between governance, social justice, and international relations, with international relations occupying a bit higher weightage when you compare to the other two sections. So overall, it is a balance between polity and the other three sections in uh, General Studies Paper 2. As we can observe over the years, that is from 2013 to 2019, the same trend can be observed that polity overall occupies roughly 9 questions. As we can see, 44% roughly translates to nine questions per paper. So overall, 8 to 10 questions we can find in every paper coming from polity, and the rest being equally distributed between IR, social justice, and governance, with a variation of plus or minus one in every section. So coming specifically to 2020 paper, as we can see, polity occupied roughly half of the paper, uh, 10 questions straight from polity, and the remaining questions spread across IR, social justice, and governance. So this is the overall weightage to be prioritized with respect to subjects. So polity, straight half of the paper comes from it, and the rest needs to be balanced. So it's a paper of balance, but polity and the other three sections, and in the other three sections also, it is a balance among the other three sections. So this is with respect to overall subject-wise priority for paper two. Now moving with respect to specific points in polity, as we can see, there are roughly 11 lines here, 11 syllabus lines, which we can broadly divide. Overall, as we can see, since UPSC has to frame 10 questions out of it, so it is fairly well distributed among every line, that we can find one question each year from every line, with exceptions being lines such as ministries and departments, structure, organization, functioning of executive. Here the probability of questions being asked is low, except that if there's any current affairs or thing which has taken place in this, for example, in the recent context, there's Ministry of Cooperation, which is a new ministry come up. So only such developments trigger question. Apart from it, we cannot find any question from this syllabus line. However, with respect to this syllabus line, that is the constitutional bodies, statutory, regulatory, and quasi-judicial bodies, there are higher questions. That is at least one to two questions from this line. So overall, as we can see, since there has to be 10 questions in this from this section, so it is well spread across the syllabus lines. So it calls for balance again with all the syllabus lines, and this is the most dynamic paper if you see in terms of the questions also. So let us try to understand that with an example. So as we can see, this paper calls for linking current developments to the static syllabus. Reading current developments alone would not be sufficient to target the questions better. For instance, this was a development which took place in September 2019, or roughly in the December October period of 2019. So this was a episode in British constitutional history where the British Supreme Court calling out PM Boris Johnson's decision to prorogue Parliament is a constitutional earthquake. So as we know, in British system we have parliamentary sovereignty. So parliamentary sovereignty, a kind of this phenomena was questioned because of the judiciary's decision there, which is a kind of constitutional earthquake, is what experts were calling it back then. So this news was covered across all the major newspapers. But the thing is, knowing this news itself does not suffice, because we have to establish a connection with this news to the static syllabus. So as we can see, UPSC's questions in 2020 mains on this, they directly connected it with the comparison of constitution between both the countries, and specifically the judiciary's part. So the judicial systems in India and UK seem to be converging as well as diverging in recent times. So highlight the key points of convergence and divergence between the two nations in terms of their judicial practices. So this is what, when we talk about linking current developments with the static syllabus, knowing this current issue alone would not suffice to answer this question, because questions are not based on the current developments, they're based on current developments linking to the static syllabus, because every question has a syllabus line. So this is key to understand the current development and how we are able to link it to the syllabus line, because this part of British Supreme Court doesn't directly fall to any part of the polity syllabus line except the comparison of constitution, and specifically it is the judiciary's comparison is what the question revolves around. So this is how on every issue we must link current developments with static syllabus, especially for polity. Now moving on, in the other sections also, as we can see, uh, there is roughly 2 to 4 questions, meaning that if there are 4 syllabus lines, the chances of questions being sprinkled across one syllabus line each. But the previous year experience shows that the role of civil service in democracy, this question doesn't find its presence every year. It's like an alternate year phenomena, or once in 2 to 3 years. So that's why this syllabus line has been given low weightage. But apart from it, this is a huge syllabus line which covers broader aspects of governance, transparency, and accountability, e-governance. Since it covers multiple syllabus lines, including e-governance, citizen charter, transparency, and accountability, so this forms high weightage with respect to the question from governance. The rest being equally, the rest have equal weightage. Now coming to social justice, again, since there are 3 broad syllabus lines and questions are 2 to 5, the chances of question being sprinkled across all is very much evident. So every syllabus line becomes important in that context. So that is why all the three has to be prepared with equal weightage. Coming specifically to poverty and hunger, this poverty topic is directly in common with the GS paper 1 uh, topic. So preparing this topic better can yield good results in both paper 1 and paper 2. So that is why priority 1 has been given to this topic. Coming to IR, international relations, is the most dynamic part of the paper. Here we can say that all the questions are entirely based on current affairs. So here, the second syllabus line with respect to groupings agreements, which involves India's interests and policies and politics of developed and developing countries and the Indian diaspora. So this part, although it involves 2 lines, we find a higher weightage for this line in previous year questions. Apart from it, since again 3 to 4 questions are there, so there is a sprinkling of questions as we can see across the syllabus lines. So this is a paper of balance. So there is balance between the syllabus lines, because every year we can see, since the syllabus lines are there, from every syllabus line you can find a question. So this is how there is a balance between polity, because it occupies half of the paper, with the other part, and within these part also we can find questions being sprinkled, and accordingly based on previous year observations, this can be certain areas which is highlighted as high and 1 can be prioritized first when preparing this paper. So this is overall with respect to general studies paper 2 prioritization. So thank you.